Candace Owens, one of the most polarizing voices in American media, has just dropped a terrifying revelation she fears for her life. Yes, the same Candace who built her brand on confidence. Sharp words and unshakable conviction is now admitting that the threats, the harassment, and the non-stop attacks have pushed her to the edge. But here's the chilling part. She isn't just talking about angry tweets or online trolls anymore. Insiders claim Candace has been receiving real threats. Messages so specific and so disturbing that she has had to drastically change her entire routine. And for the first time, she's showing cracks in her armor. Fans are stunned. Critics are buzzing. And social media is tearing itself apart with speculation. What exactly is happening behind the scenes? Who is targeting her? Why now? Reports suggest she's hired extra security. Others claim she's gone completely silent in private circles. And just when people thought it couldn't get any darker, rumors began swirling that powerful enemies, political and personal, are behind the chaos. And tonight, we're diving into it all. From the cryptic messages she's allegedly received, to the shocking fan reactions flooding social media, to the bigger question, is Candace Owens really in danger? Or is there something even more sinister going on here? Buckle up, because this story isn't just about politics. It's about fear, betrayal, and a woman realizing that her voice might come at a price far higher than she ever imagined. To understand why, Candace Owens has suddenly gone public with fears for her safety. We need to step back and look at the storm she's been standing in for years. Candace isn't just another commentator. She's a cultural lightning rod, loved passionately by her supporters, despised equally by her critics. And it's that polarizing power that has now spiraled into something terrifying. From the very beginning of her career, Candace thrived on controversy. Whether it was fiery debates on live television, viral Twitter wars, or her explosive monologues on race, politics, and culture, Candace has built her reputation on being unapologetically outspoken. She didn't care who she offended. She didn't care how big the backlash was. In fact, she welcomed it, turning every headline into proof that she was winning the fight. But what happens when the backlash stops being online and starts showing up in real life? That's the question haunting her now. Candace has admitted in interviews that she's always lived with hate mail, constant insults, and viral campaigns demanding her cancellation. But according to new reports, things escalated drastically in recent months. Anonymous letters left at her home, strange cars parked outside late at night, disturbing emails that describe details only someone close to her would know. One source close to Candace allegedly revealed she's not sleeping. She's paranoid. She's telling people she doesn't know who she can trust anymore. This isn't the first time Candace has been in the center of a dangerous storm. Years ago, when she clashed with celebrities like Kanye West's critics, or when she sparred with political giants, she received threats, but she brushed them off. She laughed at them. She used them as fuel for her brand. But now, this feels different. Why? Because this time, the attacks feel personal, and here's where it gets darker. In the weeks leading up to her public confession, rumors circulated about an internal fallout within her own circle. Former allies allegedly turned on her. Old friends reportedly cut ties. Some even whispered that the threats might not just be coming from anonymous haters, but from people who once stood beside her. Candace herself hinted at this during a live stream, her voice shaking as she told viewers, "You guys don't understand. This isn't about politics anymore. This is about survival. People I thought I could trust have betrayed me." That statement lit a fire online. Was she talking about political allies, media colleagues, or even people within her personal life? Nobody knew, but everyone had theories. Meanwhile, her fans grew increasingly worried. Her social media posts became more cryptic, her appearances more tense. She began posting less of her trademark bold opinions and more subtle warnings photos with captions like "the walls are closing in." Some fans begged her to reveal everything. Others accused her of playing into the drama. But behind the scenes, insiders claimed she had quietly doubled her security detail and started keeping her family under tight protection, and the fear is spreading. Supporters are asking if someone as powerful and well-protected as Candace Owens can be threatened like this. What does it mean for anyone who dares to speak their mind? Critics, on the other hand, are suggesting she's exaggerating the danger for attention. But here's the thing. When someone like Candace, who has made a career out of showing no fear, finally admits she's scared, that's not just news. That's a warning. And the most chilling part: multiple leaked messages have now surfaced online, supposedly from anonymous senders who claim to know her movements, her schedule, and her personal secrets. If those messages are real, the threat against Candace Owens isn't just speculation, it's real, and it's dangerously close. But the biggest question remains: who's behind it all? Is it powerful political enemies trying to silence her? Is it former allies seeking revenge? Or is it something even darker, shadowy group using intimidation to control her voice? Whatever the truth is, it's clear that Candace is more isolated, more vulnerable, and more frightened than she has ever been before. And when the first shocking confrontation finally came to light, it proved that her fears were not paranoia. They were very, very real. The moment everything shifted from speculation to undeniable danger came one late evening in Washington, D.C. Candace Owens had just wrapped up a speaking engagement to typically fiery event, where she defended her stances with the same force that's made her both adored and hated. As usual, the crowd was divided, loyal fans cheering, protesters shouting. Nothing new, but what happened afterward sent chills through her camp. According to multiple witnesses, as Candace exited the building through a side door reserved for VIPs, a black SUV screeched around the corner and stopped abruptly. Two masked individuals allegedly jumped out, shouting her name. Security rushed her into a waiting vehicle, but not before one of the masked figures screamed something that echoed like a threat. "We're coming for you next." The incident was never officially reported by police, at least not in the public record, but insiders insist it happened. One anonymous staffer described Candace as shaken to her core, saying she had to be calmed down for hours. Afterward, and here's where the story takes a shocking twist, just 2 days after the incident, screenshots began circulating online, supposedly leaked DMs sent directly to Candace's account. These weren't your average troll messages. They were disturbingly specific. One message read, "We know your schedule. Stop speaking, or we'll make sure you can't." Another included an address frighteningly close to her own home. Fans were horrified. How could strangers have such detailed information about her? Was her inner circle compromised? Or was someone feeding intel to her enemies? Candace addressed the rumors in a tense, emotional livestream. Usually composed, this time she looked exhausted, her eyes heavy, her voice trembling. "This isn't a game anymore," she said. "These aren't random trolls. These are people who know things they shouldn't. And I'm telling you all right now, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe." The live stream went viral instantly. Clips spread across TikTok and Twitter with captions like, "Candace is scared for her life, and something bigger is happening here." But the most chilling moment came when she added, "It's not just me. My family has been targeted too." And that's the line you don't cross. That line about her family ignited a firestorm. Supporters flooded her pages with prayers, messages of encouragement, and offers of protection. Critics accused her of dramatizing the situation. But then, just when the debate was peaking, another piece of evidence surfaced. A video clip. Grainy but clear enough to recognize, showed two unknown figures loitering outside Candace's gated property late at night. The security camera timestamp matched the same evening as one of the threatening DMs. The clip quickly spread online, sparking wild theories. Were these just stalkers, hired intimidators, or something more organized? Then came the first major twist. Insiders close to Candace leaked information, suggesting she believed the threats were not random at all but orchestrated. And even more shocking, she allegedly suspects someone who was once inside her circle. That's right. According to reports, Candace privately named a former someone she once trusted implicitly as a possible source of betrayal. Fans scrambled to figure out who it could be. Speculation ran rampant on forums and Twitter threads. Some pointed fingers at former political collaborators who had distanced themselves from her in recent months. Others suggested it could be a business associate with grudges over failed deals. But one name in particular began trending after anonymous insiders hinted at it. A prominent media personality who had once shared the stage with Candace, now a public rival. The suggestion was that this individual had both motive and connections to orchestrate a campaign of intimidation. The idea wasn't far-fetched. In the cutthroat world of politics and media, enemies aren't just opponents. They're strategists who play dirty. And if the leaks were true, Candace may have stumbled into a war she wasn't prepared for. The revelation set social media ablaze. A fake leaked email began circulating, supposedly showing correspondence between this rival and an anonymous group discussing neutralizing Candace. Whether it was real or not didn't matter. The drama was unstoppable. Twitter was split at TruthSeeker99. If this is true, Candace isn't paranoid. She's being targeted. Wake up. At Skeptic Sue. This is a PR stunt. Threats are fake. She wants sympathy. Meanwhile, Candace remains silent for several days, an unusual move for someone who thrives on rapid response. Her silence only fueled speculation. But when she finally reappeared, her message was darker than ever. If you think I'm exaggerating, wait until you see what's coming. The people behind this don't want me talking. That's why I have to keep talking. Her words were defiant. But her eyes told another story. Fear. And that fear, combined with the mounting evidence of betrayal, led to the next shocking revelation that would change the entire narrative and make fans question just how deep this conspiracy really goes. Because if Candace is right, the threats against her aren't random and they aren't isolated. They're part of something far bigger. If Candace Owens thought the black SUV incident and the terrifying DMs were the worst of it, she was wrong. Because what came next was not just intimidation. It was exposure, and it escalated this nightmare to a whole new level. The internet woke up one morning to find a mysterious, anonymous account on Twitter, X, trending overnight. The handle? At Inside Candace. And its very first post was devastating. She tells you she's scared. What she won't tell you is why. Here's the truth about who's really after her. Attached were screenshots of alleged private group chats, supposedly from Candace's own team. In them, members of her inner circle gossiped about her, mocked her paranoia, and even hinted at her enemies closing in. One message read, "She doesn't even know the half of it. They've already got people inside." The screenshots spread like wildfire. Were these real, or a cruel fake meant to push Candace further into fear? No one knew, but they looked authentic, complete with names, timestamps, and details that only insiders would know. And then came the first major bombshell in the thread. Candace wasn't just being threatened, she was allegedly being watched. One screenshot claimed a tracker had been placed on her car. Another hinted that her phone might have been hacked. Fans freaked out. TikTok detectives began uploading videos explaining how trackers work, how easy it is to monitor someone's location. Candace's supporters were horrified. Critics mocked her, but the fear was real because only days later, a disturbing video appeared online. The grainy clip showed Candace walking out of a grocery store late at night, looking around nervously and getting into her car. The video wasn't filmed by paparazzi. It was surveillance-style zoomed, shaky, and filmed from a distance. The caption posted alongside it read, "She knows we're watching." The clip sent social media into overdrive. Fans screamed about invasion of privacy. Others claimed Candace herself leaked it to play victim. But the timing was too perfect, too sinister. The threats were no longer just words, they were manifesting in the real world, and here's where the shocking reveal takes the story to a chilling level, according to a leak from a supposed former bodyguard. Candace wasn't just worried about faceless enemies. She allegedly suspected that someone very close to her had sold her out. The source claimed she confided in him late at night, whispering, "I don't think it's strangers. I think it's someone I trusted." That statement shattered everything. Fans who once assumed she was being targeted by random extremists now began questioning everyone around her. Her staff, her allies, even her family. Reddit threads blew up with theories. One claimed her assistant was secretly leaking information. Another insisted a former political ally, furious over a recent fallout, had turned against her. Others went deeper, suggesting the threats weren't independent at all, but tied to powerful figures in politics and media who wanted to shut her down permanently. Then, almost as if to confirm the paranoia, at Inside, Candace dropped another post, this time a short voice memo, allegedly from a phone call. In it, a woman's voice, eerily similar to Candace's, could be heard saying, "If they get to me, just tell the world the truth. Don't let them bury me." Fans were shaken. Was this really Candace? Had she recorded a final warning in case something happened to her? Or was it a cruel fake, designed to terrify her supporters even more? But the most shocking moment of escalation came when mainstream media finally picked up the story. A major news outlet ran a headline, "Candace Owens in fear, death threats or manufactured drama." The article cited unnamed sources who claimed Candace was exaggerating for attention. But in the very same report, other insiders confirmed she had indeed boosted her security, avoided public places, and canceled private appearances. The mixed messages left the public more confused and more divided than ever. Meanwhile, Candace herself doubled down. Appearing in a somber live stream, she addressed her fans directly, saying, "I know you've seen the clips. I know you've heard the leaks. And I'm telling you right now, it's worse than you think. There are people who don't want me alive. And I can't stay silent anymore." Her words hit like a thunderbolt, and then she dropped her own bombshell. Candace claimed she had proof that the threats weren't just random harassment. She hinted at documents, communications, even recordings that revealed a coordinated effort to silence her. But here's the cliffhanger. She didn't release them. Instead, she told her audience, "When the time is right, you'll see everything. And when you do, you'll understand why I fear for my safety every single day." The chat on her live stream went insane. Fans begged her to leak the evidence. Critics mocked her for stalling. But everyone was hooked, and just like that, Candace Owens transformed from controversial commentator into the center of a real-life thriller. Because now, the question isn't just whether Candace is in danger. The real question is, what exactly does she know who is willing to destroy her to keep it hidden? The stage was set for the next eruption. And as the public tried to piece together the chaos, the reactions from fans, celebrities, and political figures made the entire drama explode even further. The moment Candace Owens confessed, she feared for her safety. The internet fractured into chaos. Her livestream was barely over before Twitter, TikTok, And Instagram detonated with wild speculation, raw emotion, and savage debates. Fan reactions, division, and panic. Her supporters immediately rallied. One fan tweeted @Stand with Candace. This isn't politics anymore. This is a woman fighting for her life. Pray for her safety. Another wrote @Truth Unfolds. If they can silence Candace Owens, they can silence anyone. This is bigger than hurts about free speech itself. Supporters began organizing online campaigns, pushing hashtags like #ProtectCandace and #StandWithOwens, demanding authorities investigate the threats. Some even offered to crowdfund private investigators. But her critics weren't buying it. One viral TikTok accused her of weaponizing paranoia to manipulate her fanbase. Another post mocked her livestream tears, captioning it, "Oscars are next week, Candace." The divide was vicious. On one side, terrified fans posting prayers. On the other, relentless trolls flooding her comments with clown emojis. Political world reacts then. The politicians stepped in. A well-known conservative figure tweeted, "Candace has been fearless in speaking the truth. Now she's paying the price." This is what happens when you stand against corruption. Meanwhile, one of her most vocal critics in Congress fired back. Candace Owens has made a career stoking fear. Now she's selling fear for herself. Americans see through the act. Cable news shows seize the drama instantly. One host on a conservative network framed it as proof of a deep state conspiracy. A liberal panel, on the other hand, laughed at the idea, calling it Candace's latest publicity stunt. But the more pundits argued, the more public attention intensified celebrity reactions. Shockwaves in entertainment. Candace's drama even spilled into Hollywood. A rapper who had once clashed with her tweeted cryptically, "Sometimes the loudest voices know the darkest secrets. Don't be surprised if the silence gets forced." That post alone racked up 500,000 likes. Fans dissected it like prophecy. Was he hinting at the coordinated effort Candace teased? Meanwhile, a reality TV star publicly offered her support, posting on Instagram stories, "We might not agree on anything, but no woman deserves to live in fear like this. Stay strong, Candace." It was bizarre. Her haters and supporters alike were now tangled in the same storm. Unable to ignore the scale of the threat, media escalation mainstream outlets smelled blood. One tabloid ran a front page with the headline, "Candace Owens, Fear, Betrayal, and the Secret Enemy." Inside, they published paparazzi shots of Candace leaving her home with armed guards. Another outlet took the opposite angle, with the headline, "Owens Fear Fiasco, Real Danger, or Cry for Attention." The back and forth only made the mystery grow. Fans turned detective as if the drama wasn't enough. Fans turned investigators began trying to solve the mystery themselves. Reddit threads popped up, cross-referencing her live streams with public appearances, hunting for inconsistencies. TikTok investigators zoomed in on her security footage video, analyzing shadows and reflections to prove who was stalking her. One viral post claimed the loiterers outside her home matched the build of someone formerly on her staff. Another theory suggested a well-funded political action group was behind the intimidation. The wildest theory, that Candace's threats were linked to something she wasn't allowed to say yet. That her silence was protecting people in power. Industry fallout behind the scenes. Things got messier. Sponsors connected to Candace reportedly began asking hard questions. Would she continue to be safe at events? Would her presence attract chaos? One insider whispered to a journalist, "The fear isn't just about her. It's about liability. Nobody wants to host her if it means danger follows." At the same time, bookers and networks reported higher ratings whenever her name came up. Her controversy was toxic, but it was also gold. And while the public spiraled into debates, Candace herself doubled down, Posting a cryptic message on Twitter, she wrote, "If something happens to me, remember we warned you, and the receipts will come out." The post racked up millions of views in hours, sending chills through fans. What receipts? What truth was she sitting on? And why was she hinting at something catastrophic? Cliffhanger reactions. The drama reached boiling point when a new anonymous account appeared online, calling itself @The Watcher Files. Its first tweet was directed at Candace herself. "You can run, you can hide, you can cry on camera, but the truth is already written, and soon it will come out with or without you." The tweet exploded. Some dismissed it as trolling. Others swore it was proof that the threats were real and coordinated. Either way, Candace Owens was now trapped in a terrifying spotlight. Loved, hated, mocked, defended, but undeniably watched. And as the world reacted, the final twist emerged. A revelation so chilling, so unexpected, that it didn't just deepen the mystery, turned the entire story upside down. Just when the frenzy reached its breaking point, the final twist landed, and it left even Candace's harshest critics speechless. It started with a late-night livestream that Candace abruptly launched without warning. No makeup, no studio lighting, just her face, pale and tense, framed by the dim glow of a single lamp. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "I've stayed quiet because I was told to stay quiet. But tonight, I can't hold back anymore. The people threatening me. They're not random. They're not strangers. They're people with power. And if you knew what I know to understand why I'm scared." The chat exploded with frantic messages. Supporters begged her to spill everything. Trolls spammed clown emojis. But then Candace leaned closer, whispering, "They warned me if I talk, it's over. But the truth will come out whether through me or through the people who already have the evidence." That sentence hit like a bomb. The people who already have the evidence. Who was she talking about? Was it her supposed betrayer inside her circle? Was it the anonymous accounts leaking files online? Or was there an even bigger player pulling the strings? Then, for the first time, Candace held up what she claimed was part of the evidence, a printed email chain. She didn't read it aloud, but she showed just enough for viewers to catch the subject line: "Neutralizing Owens Phase 1. The comments section went insane. Some demanded she reveal the full contents. Others accused her of faking it. But before she could say more, her stream abruptly cut out. Seconds later, her account went dark. Twitter erupted immediately. Was it a glitch, a hack, or something far more sinister? And then came the most chilling development of all, within the hour. The anonymous account at The Watcher Files posted a single cryptic message. "We told you not to talk. No photo. No context." Just those 5 words. The timing was too precise to ignore. Fans flooded Candace's husband's social media, demanding answers. Was she safe? Was she silenced? Some claimed to have heard sirens near her neighborhood. Others insisted she was fine, and this was all a calculated stunt. But then another CURVEBALL. A journalist from a major outlet tweeted that they had been contacted by a credible source who provided them with documents Candace had been sitting on. The journalists claimed they were in the process of verifying the material, but if true, the information could shake the foundations of political media. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about Candace Owens being scared for her safety. It wasn't just about anonymous threats or betrayal from within. It was about something larger, looming secret that someone, somewhere, would do anything to keep buried. And the scariest part, if Candace really did have the evidence, her days of fear might be numbered. Because once the full truth drops, her enemies might not want her scared anymore. They might want her gone. And, as fans, foes, and media scrambled to piece together the chaos. One thing was undeniable. This was no longer just Candace Owens' fight. It was a countdown to an explosion that could drag far more people into the fire. The clock is ticking. And the question is, will Candace survive long enough to tell the world what she really knows? And now we're left staring at the biggest cliffhanger of Candace Owens' career, maybe even her life. She says she has evidence. Anonymous accounts say they already have it. Enemies seem to be circling, waiting for her next move. And her last livestream cut off at the exact moment she was about to reveal more so. Now the spotlight turns to you. Do you believe Candace Owens is truly in danger? Are these anonymous threats part of a coordinated attack from powerful enemies who want her silenced? Or is this just another layer in the endless cycle of drama that surrounds her? And here's the scariest question of all: if the leaks are real, what kind of secret could possibly be so explosive that it would put her safety at risk? Drop your theories in the comments right now. Who do you think is behind at the Watcher Files? Do you think the neutralizing Owens Phase 1 email was authentic Sage? And if the truth comes out, do you think it will destroy Candace or vindicate her forever? One thing is certain, this story is not over. Every hour brings new rumors, new leaks, and new threats. And if Candace was right, if the real storm hasn't even hit yet, then we're about to see a scandal that could change everything. Make sure you hit that like button if you want to see the full breakdown when the next leak drops. Smash subscribe so you never miss an update on this rapidly escalating drama. And don't forget to turn on notifications, because when the truth finally explodes, you'll want to be the first to hear it. This is bigger than Candace Owens. This is about power, secrets, and survival. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Trust me, this is only the beginning.